Alright guys, we're on to the next process here. So I'm not putting all this in one video because I think it's just too much. Then I think I want to install the radiator and make sure it actually holds water. Check the thermostat out, put some new hoses on it. And then last, put the new fuel tank in it. I have a new fuel tank that came with the car. So I'll put a new fuel tank in it, take the old one out. I don't know for sure that that one's bad, but I'm sure there's varnished gas or something in the bottom of it. I'm sure it's no good. There's no reason they would have put a new tank in it. My ultimate goal is to get this thing to move out of here, move in and out with somewhat ease. And I really want to get it outside and do a good cleaning on it. Vacuum out the interior, clean out the grease and gunk that's on the engine and on the frame rails. And then I think that'll probably do it for that video. Like I said, the ultimate goal is to get it on the road like it is. Probably without a windshield, with the glass how it is, with the tires that it has. They all seem to hold air. This one over here seems to be leaking down. That tire over there is pretty bad. It definitely won't handle any kind of speed. Most likely it'll come apart. So, but I want to be able to take it on the road, make sure the transmission's good, make sure the rear end's good, kind of get a feel for what I need to do. I won't be taking it on the road on this video. The next video I'll be doing brakes. I already know the master cylinder's bad. I tried to put fluid in it, and it is completely, it just leaks everything out of it. So it's gonna need a rebuild kit or a new master cylinder. I'll probably do a rebuild kit because the master cylinder is pretty expensive, and I want to save money where I can. And if I can rebuild it easily, I'm gonna do that. Other thing is I still need to work on the timing and setting it and figuring out how to lock down the distributor. Right now it just moves freely. I thought I saw an extra bolt going somewhere, but I don't see it now. And then figuring out wiring, figuring out if the generator works, if any of the lights work. I did see the interior lights come on for a little bit, the gauge lights, but I have not seen a headlight or anything work. I think that's it. Alright guys, I've decided to go ahead and try and get the radiator in. So here's the radiator. I don't know if it leaks or not. There is a little bit of discoloration, but not as much as I would think. So I want to try to get it in. I haven't even opened it up and looked in it, see what it looks like inside here. Actually, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to flush this out because looking inside, it looks pretty nasty. So I'm gonna take it out, hook it up with the hose, and try to potentially blow some of this rust out. Hopefully I don't hurt the radiator, and maybe I'll be able to see if there's any leaks. So I'll get back to you guys and let you know how the radiator turns out. Alright guys, so I flushed the radiator out. It is really rusty. So I'm gonna show you guys a little bit here. So there's the inlet tube. Well, outlet tube, I guess. You're not gonna be able to see in here, but the tubes are open and it does flow water, but it's rusty. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it in. Let me try to get it in here. I don't know if I need to take the fan off or not. Let me turn y'all a little bit so you can hopefully see. There we go. Let me see. There looks like there's enough room to slide it in. It should just slide right in. I think the hose will hold it right there. Come on, hose. I think it goes right there. What I should have done is found some hardware before I started messing with this, but I didn't. Let me see. Alright, I got the radiator in. I want to take this off and look at the thermostat. Oof. Alright, this has got to come off. It is completely full of rust. So, and I do not want that going in the engine, and there's probably no way in the world that thermostat would open. So let me get a socket to take that off. Kind of hoping the whole stud comes out. Man. Here, let me show you guys before I take all this out, all the rest in here. Alright. Look at all that. It's completely full. You can't see the thermostat or anything. So, definitely ran straight water through this for a long time. So, I got this one coming loose. Feels pretty good. Looks like I'm not getting a stud though. No way. Look how easy that came up. And the gaskets are, holy cow. Holy cow. Oh, look at all the rust that it's got out of there. If this even has a thermostat in it, there's no way it was opening up. And the I thought somebody had taken his head off. If they did, they did not. Is that a gasket? That's a gasket. They did not clean it. I'm about to try to vacuum that out. Let me get a screwdriver and try to take this off. Whew. Well, the heater hose end. That's almost shot. There's the inside of that. Not very good. Let me see if I can take this other hose off. What I think I might do is turn this, put this in my ultrasonic cleaner and see what happens. Here, I don't know if I showed you this, but There is all of the rust in there. That is a lot. So I'm hoping to be able to vacuum most of that out, which with that amount of rust, I have a feeling I'll be taking out freeze plugs. So, but I'll get back to you guys whenever I get to the next step. All right, guys. So got the radiator in, got it all plumbed up. There was a bunch of rust in the head, a bunch. So I tried to clean it out as much as possible without taking it off. I'm gonna see how this goes. I want to kind of run it and see if I can break some of the stuff up with some heat and see how it goes. But I think I might end up having to take the head off and probably some freeze plugs to get the trash out of the motor. So, but I do want to fire it up and heat it up. I put the radiator in and I was worried about some leaks, and there are some leaks. I do have some leaks. None of them are super bad at this point, but you can see all the wet spots. I'm gonna see what a new radiator costs, but most likely I'm going to try to repair this one the best I can. I'll see if I can look up some videos on how to do it and maybe pass that knowledge on to anybody else that does it. But let me get it fired up. I have some extra water. The temperature gauge is not working in this. I took it out to try to clean the trash out, and the little, I don't know if it's a mercury bubble or a little bubble in there is broken, so it wouldn't work. But let me pull up my infrared camera here. This is what I'm going to use, and this will actually tell me a lot about the engine and how it's heating evenly, and the exhaust, and what ports are firing and what's not. So the engine has not ran today. It is 65 degrees roughly. I just put the water in there, so the water's a little cooler. It's 59, but I'm going to use the infrared camera here. You guys can see it. I'm going to use this to try to see hot spots. I've used this in the past, works pretty good. So let me guys get you set up. I also have a magnet on the radiator, trying to catch any metal that that tries to go into the radiator. Hopefully what'll happen is it'll stick to this, and then when I take this off, it'll just drop right in to the head right there, and I can just vacuum it out. That's what I've been doing, is just vacuuming it out. So, but let me fire this thing up. Let me get you guys in position here. So you guys can see. Let's see how it does too. Completely cold on 6 volts. So I'm gonna hook up the coil. I still have to start it from out here. There we go. Get some fuel in it. Oh, fire right up. Step away for a second so I can talk. Car is running really well. As it's idling here, the head's getting up to about 140, which is not warm at all. That's not very hot. The water has started circulating, but there's not a lot of smoke. It's running really well. It's in here idling. It's pretty amazing for something that sat for,
I don't know how many years. It's at least 20 years. I think it's way longer than that. But let me get back in here and check out temperatures. All right, guys. So it ran pretty good. I definitely need to tighten down the timing. I haven't done it yet, and I definitely need to do that. So I tweaked it a little bit. It started running a little better. Then it started running bad again. So let me mess with the timing a little bit. So I'm going to unplug the ignition. Let me mess with the timing a little bit. I'm gonna let this cool off. I got it to right about 200 degrees. So I think I'm gonna have to take the head off and just see what kind of rust and stuff is in there. It's burning a lot of oil that's been sitting on it for a while. I kind of wonder if this is one of the reasons it was parked, was because of overheating, because of trash in there. These old engines are known for kind of not being taken care of, and trash being in the coolant system. So one thing that kind of sucks about these engines is, if you notice, the two inlet hose, the inlet and the outlet, are at the top. So what happens is it causes all of the crud to sit in the bottom of the cylinders, bottom of the coolant passages, the bottom of the cylinders, which is, in my opinion, what's happened. There's no way to flush this really well without taking freeze plugs out, taking the head off, and really getting into it. But I'll save that for, well, I'll save the freeze plugs for another time. I think when I take the head off and head gasket, and if I can see in there and see how bad it is, I might be able to get something in there and kind of clean it out and knock some stuff loose and go from there. But all right, guys, it's time to attempt to move this thing for the first time under its own power. So let's I'm hoping everything works. The clutch feels like it works. When I took it off the dolly, I coasted it around the corner here, and I used the clutch as like the brake, and it seemed to work fine. I have a temporary fuel system rigged up here. It's connected to the windshield wiper up there. Hopefully it doesn't fall off. Plenty of fuel. It's got water. The oil is old, but it actually looks really, really good in my opinion, and has like good viscosity. So let's back this thing out of here. All right, guys, let's see how this goes. Yeah, almost all the windows down. All right, I can start it from inside. Push the clutch in. I think I got enough gas. The only brake I have is the handbrake on the transmission. So I'm hoping that does okay. It seems like it does start it. Let's see. Barely stops it. Alright guys, I pulled the 38 out. I'm going to attempt to take the cylinder head off and flush out the motor. This thing's running good enough that I want to proceed to actually making it good on the road. The radiator is leaking a good bit. I have it draining right now, so I want to go ahead and get all the water out. So I called a company, a local company, and they said they can rebuild it. Getting one of these original was pretty expensive, and I really don't want, at this point, I don't want a chrome aluminum radiator in this vehicle. I don't think it fits at this point. So let me start tearing the head apart, and it shouldn't be that bad. These flathead are really easy. I'm just hoping I don't mess up the gasket. I think it hasn't ran with this gasket on it, so I should be, well, it's only ran since you guys seen it with this gasket on it. The head wasn't even torqued down, so let me start tearing it apart. Guys, so you see all the rust in there. So my magnet trick worked, putting that magnet, and it all collected it right here. So that's good. It probably saved it from going in the radiator. I'll take that stuff out. Let me see, where's my magnet? Let me grab my magnet so you guys can see how much. So I have this handy, it's like a machinist magnet or whatever. You can turn it off and on. So I'm gonna set you guys up right there. So it's on right now. Might be a little hard to get this in and out, but there's a chunk of the rust. So what's nice about it is you can turn it off and it just falls right off. See if we can get this off easy. Nope, not taking that off. I'm about to work around it. Not taking that off. Come on, baby. All right. Holy cow. All right, let me these aren't too heavy, they're just a little awkward. All right. There we go. All right, guys, so here's the head. The head looks like it's in really good shape. Look at the ports, the coolant ports. They are completely clogged up. So, man, look at this. It's like solid down here. And I noticed this is the back of the motor. I felt like it ran a little hotter, which it might have. Man, those coolant ports are full of crap. So let me clean that up. I might actually go buy some acetone and kind of just let it sit in some acetone. We'll see. But the chambers look good. The heads look good. So I don't see any like burn marks through or anything. They look good. So yeah, these look nice. But here, let me show you the motor. Motor looks good. And you get the water out of the cylinders here, but there is some ring ridge, so this is definitely an older motor, but all the cylinders look nice. Let's see if these are over. Is that 10 over? This might be 10 over. So let me get a rag and clean this up so you can see these coolant ports. Look at this, completely full of trash. So I want to get the head gasket off, but I don't want to tear it up. So let me just see. Oh, it might come up easy. There we go. This head gasket looks brand new. Like I said before, I think somebody did a lot of work on this and never got it running. Or if they got it running, I don't think they ever got it running, I'll be honest. So, I'm gonna set you guys down a little bit. Come on. Alright guys, I'm gonna take a magnet here and just try to fish some of this out. Man, look, that's what's coming out. So these coolant patches are completely clogged. I think I'm going to definitely have to pull the freeze plugs. I don't know if there's any way I'm going to get all this out. But I'm going to get a vacuum over here, I think, and try to vacuum this stuff out. All right, guys, got my vacuum. Let's see if we can get some of these cleaned out. It's gonna be a little loud, so. Alright guys, I have cleaned this engine out the best I can. So let's check it out. So, here we go. All the ports are clean to the best I can get them. There was definitely mud in there, and I probably should take the freeze plugs out, but I really don't want to at this time. I want to make sure this is a good engine before I go that far. So. Got it all cleaned out. There is a bunch of debris. I mean, like cups and cups and cups. Got the head gasket cleaned. Got the head cleaned. It's ready to go in. The one thing I need to do is I need to blow. I need to blow out. Oh, that's a blind stud. Never mind. It goes straight through. So I need to make sure I put sealant on that. But other than that, it looks pretty good. I was quite surprised how much I could get out. And let me drain the vacuum here. Just gonna drain it right here. Look at that. That is crazy. How much that is. Just all except for this rock. That all came out of the engine. So that's definitely one of the reasons this thing was parked. I think the coolant system was completely plugged up. So, but I got it pretty clean. We still need to repair the radiator, or I still need to repair the radiator. But this is a good point right here. So. I thought about taking the water pump off, and I might in the future, but I'm gonna leave it for now. What I kind of wanted to do is break some of that rust up from heat cycles and the sludge, and then I can kind of clean it off. The head is not hard to take off this thing, and the freeze plugs aren't gonna be too bad. They are behind objects, so it makes it a little more difficult, but let's see how it goes from here. I think what'll happen is, especially with running coolant in this and the oils will kind of break up the debris, and hopefully I'll be able to get it out a lot easier this next time. guys, the head's back on. The battery died. I'm not sure where it died, but it's all wired up. I just need to add fuel to it, and this should be ready to fire. Oh, I need to add water to it. Let me do the fuel first. Let it go ahead and start filling up the bowl. I make a mess. Alright guys, oh, the sun is setting over here. I got this thing all back together and I am ready to fire it up. So let me hook up the ignition. Let's see if I can set you guys down here real quick. My battery on my camera is dying, so I got plugged into another battery trying to charge it. So all right, radiator's full of water. Put it somewhere so it doesn't. See what this thing's running. Alright guys, we yesterday we tried to drive this a little bit, or I tried to drive it a little bit around the yard, and it was not having it. It was backfiring. It was backfiring out the exhaust and the carburetor. The timing when I got this car and I started messing around with it, the timing was off. The number one cylinder was off, the wiring firing order was off, and the distributor was loose. So let me guys take you down in here. So as you can see, the distributor moves. So I haven't tightened it out because somebody's removed the nut. There's a nut on that sits in here and it's gone. So I need to find a nut and put it on there. Plus it honestly seemed like it was doing okay when I was idling. What I want to do is get a nut on it and try to time this. So yesterday for a brief minute I tried to hook up my timing light. Well, the timing light is not like 6 volts. It even was 8 volts at one point. Does not like it. So I'm going to try to hook it up to an external battery, 12 volt, and see what happens. See if it'll help out. I can also time it with a vacuum gauge, which I think I'm going to put on there anyway. Alright guys, so I've gotten the distributor to where it's snug, but I can still rotate it a little bit, but it won't move. I also have my timing light hooked up. I have it hooked up to a manual charger because I don't have a 12 volt battery here. And then I already have it hooked up there. I got a vacuum gauge hooked up too. And I'm gonna try to fire it up. If I remember right, this thing likes a little bit of advance. I have the timing mark cleaned. Oh, I need to mark it. Let me, so I cleaned off my timing marks down here, and I need to mark top dead center. So let me grab a white ink pen or a white paint pen and go ahead and mark that, and I'll bring you guys back. Alright guys, I have the timing marked. I marked top dead center, which is in the middle, and then 10 degrees back and 10 degrees forward. That's just for me. I can also do that on my timing gun if this works. So let's go ahead and fire it up. The one thing I'm worried about the timing light is, since this is a positive ground, I'm not sure how it's going to pick up the spark plug. So we're going to see what it does. But let me fire it up. It is cold. The engine's actually sweating. Also, it's really windy here and there's a lot of noise, a lot of leaves hitting the roof. So, and my wind chimes are going in the background. So, I'm going to apologize for the noise, and this thing's going to be loud. So, let me go ahead and fire it up. Alright guys, we're ready to go. Let me hook up the ignition. And then I'm going to record my way down there. Okay, ignition's hooked up. I already gave it a pump of fuel. We got fuel to the carburetor. Let's fire this baby up and see what it does. Carburetor is not it's not flowing really well. Let's give me a short one, I think. I don't think it's gonna run the greatest. Alright guys, I was messing around here with the car and I found a loose ground. That ground right there wasn't bolted in. So I was curious, I was like, I haven't got any voltage out of this, let me bolt the ground in. And I bolted it in and surprisingly the car started charging. It's not a lot, but but it's definitely charging. Let me show you guys. Let me hook it up. I'm gonna hook up the coil there. Fuel. Let me I'm gonna put you guys in here with the battery charger, or with the I'm gonna put you guys in here with the meter. I got it hooked up here. It's reading 6.48 volts. So and the amp meter is just to the left of the bottom dot, and that amp meter seems to be working. So let me fire it up. I'm gonna do it out here since I got the seat out, or cockeyed in there. So. Right around there. It'll go up to 7.70 or 7.7. So let's say I'm gonna do the cigarette lighter because that seems to do the most. Bam. It goes down, but it doesn't go past the middle. The volts go down too, but it is also idling. Bam. I can't wait. I have never had an amp gauge work. If I reach the pedal, see if this will go up. Oh, we're up to 8 volts. Look at that. That is amazing. So, another win. This thing's shocking me all the time. Just it blows my mind how much stuff works. Alright guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here. So we've got the radiator in, we got the head and the block cleaned out the best we could, and the timing set. We were able to take the car on its first drive in a very long time. But I didn't get to the gas tank. So the gas tank looks like it's going to be a little bit bigger project than I thought it was going to be, and I didn't want to make this video any longer than it already is. So the next video we'll do the fuel tank and maybe a couple other things, but we'll get the fuel tank done. So alright guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next step to getting this thing roadworthy again.